always be having tension issues. It's usually a lack of knowledge and understanding. Hi, I'm Myrna from A Quilter's Choice, APQS West. So let's go over some things that I believe will help you in your tension going forward. The first thing we're going to start with is your thread path. Your thread sits on your cone holder, and it comes up through the shepherd guide the first thing. You'll notice I have a piece of batting stuck in here. The thread doesn't go into the batting, it stays underneath it or beside it. It's to keep the slicker threads from jumping out. Then we're going to come over to the first 3-hold thread guide. Every time you go through one of the holes, it adds tension, no matter whether it's this one or the one in the front. So on Millie, I've got it coming in through the first one and looping down and around into the second one, and then I'm coming up to my thread break sensor. Now with your thread break sensor, again, every time you loop it around your thread break sensor is going to add tension to your thread. I usually do mine on my Millie, usually 4 or 5 times. You may do it less. It depends on how you set your tension, which we're going to get to further onto the machine. So first, loop through here. You may only have it through one of these. You may have it through all 3. Pick a way to do it and do it the same way every time. So now, move my handle out of the way, we're coming to the front, to your next 3-hold guide. How I do it is coming up from the bottom, looping underneath, coming up through the middle one, looping underneath, and coming up through the last one. If you are going to skip one of these, never skip the one in the front. Then you come down to your tensioner. Now, your tensioner does affect your tension, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. You want to make sure that your thread is pulling through, let's unthread this, pulling through your tension disc. Make sure it is all the way into your disc. Then it comes up and over your check spring. If your thread jumps out of your check spring, you have no tension no matter what you've done. So then it comes under the little shepherd's hook here. Then you're going to come up to your take-up lever. You're going to thread through that, down to your first pigtail. Wrap it around the pigtail. Just wrap it around. Then you're going to come down to your front pigtail. Wrap it around that, make sure it's all the way in. Anywhere along the line of your thread path, make sure that it doesn't get caught or twisted. Sometimes it can twist around here. Sometimes if you run out of bobbin and your thread comes loose, it can twist here onto itself. It can come out of here. You have to be very careful when you're blowing out your hook assembly just to clean out the lint when you're re-oiling, because it can blow it out of here. And without looking to see where your thread path is, again, you have no tension. Also, make sure it doesn't jump over your thread break sensor. Sometimes mine jumps over and gets onto the back, which obviously will break your thread because it can't pull off of there. So that's your thread path. You come through the back of the machine where your post is, come up to your first 3-hole guide. If your machine doesn't have like Lenny, Lucy, or Larry, and you don't have robotics that will add another thread break sensor, you probably don't have that on Lenny, Lucy, and Larry, and Ellie. So you'll come straight from here, right down straight to your next 3-hold guide. Now on Lenny and Lucy, or Lenny and Larry, you don't have a pigtail guide. You have another 3-hold guide, and it's down here, and it only goes to the very front one, and I'll show a picture of that.